That's probably the greatest performance by a 1-year-old I've ever seen in a movie.
Yes, I agree.
How did
I
you
agree.
get that performance? How
I think sometimes, I don't know, maybe also the fact that I'm also a mother, and my daughter was exactly the same age when we were filming, and I was breastfeeding my daughter also. So there was I don't know if there was a sort of a mirror with this other woman, with this baby, where we felt each other. I knew when she was going to be tired. I knew when she was going to be sleepy. I knew when she was you just have to create the right space for her to react, or the right situation for her to react the same way, because she was very reactive. Whatever happens, or she's very aware, whatever happens around her, she looks. She's there. She's very present. So you have to create the right situations for her to react the right way. And you have to be very also not scared at all of knowing that what you want her to do, she's not necessarily going to do it when you want her to do it. So you have to be very free in the way you shoot. Sometimes we would shoot reactions that were not supposed to be in that specific scene that we were shooting at that time. And we would really shoot them and then use them for other scenes. So you have to be very free, and sometimes we would not know even what we were going to shoot the next day, depending on what was going to happen today. And knowing that we have to take our time. We have, scenes that sometimes that were like over an hour, with the camera crew with their camera on their shoulders. My cinematographer was just a blessing. He was so passionate about it and so into it. They would takes would take an hour with them, with the camera on their shoulders, the boom operators like this, just waiting for that magical moment to happen. So this is what you need to do. It's just be patient and know how to create those situations. And also, I used to know even when she was gonna put her hand in her mother's chest, or in Zane's chest, because knowing children at that age and living the same experience in a way, you know how babies react, you know what they need, you know how to trigger certain reactions.
And Halle, tell us about your score. In the few poetic passages in the movie, that's when your music comes in, and you evade melodies that we're used to in the films that we are used to seeing. We are used to hearing lots of melodies. Can you tell us about your process?
Yeah, usually I write the score on the script. So while we were working on the script, I wrote a lot of melodies, a lot of themes, imagining small kids walking alone on the streets, being sad, being emotional. But when I met Zane for the first time, and when I went to the locations where we had to shoot, I abandoned everything I did, and I rewrote the whole score. Because I felt these people are telling their truth, and I didn't have the right to add something from myself above them as a manipulative layer that will add my story above their story. I didn't have the right to do this. So we chose to divide the film by chapters where the film is very realistic, where the score is just the sound of the streets, the sound of the horns, and very poetic places where the score can tell something, can tell a story. My own interpretation of the film at the beginning was, for me, this is a prophetic tale. It's a mixture of a prophetic tale and a science fiction movie. Because for me, every big city in the world in the next 30 years will have a Capernaum at its door. So I saw it like this. And then when I say the prophetic tale, like we read any prophecy. It's like a child is going to be born, and a non-sung hero, he's going to suffer, and then he's going to save all his fellow other child. This is how I read Zayn. So the music is very biblical at some places, and it becomes very contemporary in some other places to show these two facets of my reading of the script. So unfortunately, with the global warming, with the migration from the south to the north, this refugee crisis that we see, and that is the result. I mean, the Capernaum is the result. One of the big results of this is going to be everywhere. No matter how high the walls are that we built or that people will build, they won't be enough to stop humans from wanting to access a better life.